our next speaker for this morning. This is coincidental actually. They're both talking about transport. Our next speaker is a trained architect and an urban designer. He is the managing director of the PW PT Pandega Design Wiharima Planning and Development Workshop, urban design and architecture firm. He has 20 years of experience practicing in Indonesia and Australia. Prasetyo is a certified architect and from the Indonesian Architect Association and planner, yes, a planner from the Planning Institute of Australia. He is also one of the founder of the Green Building Council of Indonesia. He is recently a country leader of Council of Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat in Indonesia. He will be talking about also of next level public transport and density. May I introduce to you Architect Prasetyo Adi.
Good morning. Thank you to be here in really great Saturday morning. I will talk about the topic with Diane. I think I will conclude my presentation because Diane already said it all. So, but it's actually complementary to what she has presented. I will be presenting more on the case study and what we do in Jakarta and what need to be done on all the problems. First of all, I'm thrilled to be here. This is my first time in Manila. I didn't get a chance to dance last night because I didn't attend the evening. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but I attend the more formal opening, which is great. See the active chapters, and I see also my fellows from PhilGBC. Indonesia, Jakarta. I'm talking about more to Jakarta, the capital city. Actually, it's well connected during the colonial era. We have the Dutch built infrastructure, transportation, and also other infrastructure. And it is connecting the old town. Unfortunately, the tram is now already gone because the first president is eliminated all the so-called Dutch legacy, which is unfortunate. But we still maintaining several like rail-based transportation actually. Commuter line, this is the central station of Jakarta. Now it's like this, which was before like a public space and connected to other means of transportation. Now the other transportation at your doorstep in front of the station. This Station Jakarta Kota is the main station, used to be main station. Our first president happens also to be an architect by training and by practice. He designed a lot of building in his years before he become into politics and become president. I'm sorry. Can you show the slide, please? And he planned a city in a way that from the first years of or a later year of his presidency, after he tackled all the political and freedom fight, he planned. Nobody knows where the road goes, and nobody knows where the road leads it to. You see that this is the central Jakarta, or the old town, is in the north part of Jakarta, and then he planned roads to the south, which is now is the main road. We call it the Golden Triangle. It creates a triangular area in the city, and as you can see, there's nothing when it's built planned and built. Unfortunately, was not uh, investing more on a mass rapid transit. But that time, the population still very low. And then in the 70s, the existing train facilities or rail, it's we use what the Dutch left us. We didn't build any more rail, and what happened is that the commuter line is always full like that. And when the city sprawls more, I discussed this also with fellow that the settlement used to follow either water or food source traditionally, and that happens in Jakarta. And we eating up all of the agricultural land around the city. Now we have to import rice from all over Southeast Asia. The city sprawls in a way that the population getting bigger and bigger in the larger metropolitan area, not even Jakarta. Jakarta population remains the same since early 2000, but the population of the larger metropolitan area is growing like almost twice. And this is daily commutes, which they are improving at the moment, but this is what happened. We are still based on the colonial era infrastructure. And of course, that waits something bad to happen. Still, a lot of lines still in a grid with a road transportation, so it creates traffic jam, it creates accident, and this is like our version of current public transport. In your left hand, you can see the micro bus, which sort of like jeepney, but and well, my friends, colleague from Europe, usually like, oh, you can stop anywhere. That's great, because they tend to the public transport anywhere else in the world tend to stop in a bus stop but this transportations more or less is similar to jeepney. That's why I relate directly to Manila, because we have the same familiar infrastructure culture and the way the transportation goes. And you can see that we rely on the microbus, buses. This is a newly built road. This photo I took from my car. Once you build the road, then immediately the road will be packed, because the growth of car sales and motorcycle sales is faster than the infrastructure itself. And the government need to look into other way than to solve the transportation problem, the mobility issues, not only building more roads. The mindset of the government, the previous government, is still based on the private vehicle mode. And this is worse than Manila actually, because you can see that if you can see from the photo below, it is flooding, more motorcycle. Then they don't use rules. They just fill up the empty space on the road. Doesn't matter which way you go, against or for the traffic. And this is what the regulator authorities often forgot, that with mobility you have to provide the smallest unit of mobility, which is pedestrian. That's not happening in Jakarta, something that you take for granted in many parts of the world. In Jakarta, it's difficult, very difficult for people to walk. It encourages people to use private mode, vehicle mode. And also because the mobility for people walking on the street, then there's no space also for street hawkers, because then a lot of cases in Jakarta that street vendors occupying the public space, so it's less and less convenient to walk. And you can see here that most of our public transport station and stop doesn't connect. So you got out of the station, either you take a motorcycle taxi or take a tricycle taxi. There's no way that you can walk to where you, I mean, you can walk, but you will face the danger walking on the street, walking on the, come across the motorized vehicle. In early 2004, the government, Jakarta government, invest on the bus rapid transit, but still it is in the same level as the road, the traffic. So when it gets jammed, when it's Jakarta get jammed quite a lot because of demonstration, because we have the government also in place. Then when the street get jammed, so the bus rapid transit doesn't work. Also flooding problem. This is actually the pictures on the right. It is in the very central of Jakarta. So SUV sells very well in Jakarta because of this reason. So the pictures in the right and the bottom left, that's the main thoroughfare that we built. It is flooded once and at least once every year, and people keep adapting to that, right? And you don't have a use of luxurious public transport. This is one of the big developers. The pictures is everywhere. You can Google it, Rolls-Royce flood Jakarta, and you get many pictures. The drivers end up throwing out the water and the boss driving. It happens quite quickly, so they cannot get away from and then the Rolls-Royce get ruined immediately. So apart from the problem, of course, we have future. We have new government. We have new governor. If you can see, there's two big development one is in Hong Kong and one in Jakarta. About similar size, high rises, mixed use, but the one on the left, it has MTR connection below, airport link and MTR in Hong Kong. But the pictures on the right is actually not connected to anywhere. You have to travel with cars, high security. People stay in the hotel. There's a hotel there, or in the mall. They cannot walk easily across the street. And if they are able to walk, there's no proper facilities. You can see here that the vehicle, motorcycle ownership jumps rapidly. So if the government keep encouraging by building road, there won't be a solution for our problem. And you can see the buses or public transport investment is almost not growing. It's flat line. And in 2030, with all the infrastructure built, MRT, and at one time the Jakarta government planned a monorail system, we still even have a shortage of number of mass transit needed. So a huge opportunity if you see it like in a different perspective. You can see it as opportunity or challenges. That is opportunities to make the city great. You can see the dotted line there is existing rail-based transportation that's already there, and it's a commuter line. And the projected population for the greater Jakarta, Jakarta always remains at the moment about more or less 10 million people. But the greater area will grow until about 20 million people. Then with the infrastructure built, at the moment we only cover for about less than 30% of the public transport for people in Jakarta. It's projected if the investment and the plan is carried on, it will take like about only 60% of the population, which is quite a good number. And to the plan, the government already planned the red line will be is the MRT that we are building at the moment, and then they also going to build the future MRT. The problem also in Jakarta is that because Jakarta Greater Metropolitan Area consists of several municipalities, while Jakarta itself has 5 municipalities, which is managed by a governor because it's special territory. But once it's goes outside the border, it is like very difficult to coordinate because we don't have a management for Jakarta Greater Metropolitan Area. So there's a basic issue of bureaucracy and government. So in this part, government is the key issue to take a chance or take a lead. At the moment, they are building this MRT line. And then we identified each and every stations, whether it's residential, R residential, U is a urban mixed-use area. So the plan is already accommodating the character of the existing cities. Because at the moment, the line that you see there, it is already very dense. Even the MRT, now they don't have a choice except using the existing road line. So whether it's elevated or underground. So the first 7 stations is above ground, elevated, and then while they're going into the city, they will be underground. And this goes from the south, very south, to the central of Jakarta. So it's not yet connected to the north, to the old city. And the concept was to build like higher density. So this is the thing that government has to look into, that every transportation station hub, then the landowner need to be can be given the higher density. At the same time, they can contribute by connecting the station to their land, and that's why. And this just to show you, this is a Jakarta skyline. It's relatively flat. It's not. It's spread out because of the way we plan and the road-based transportation. While when it's connected, then this should be like more dense and walkable city. Our office involved in developing the master plan for monorail and the stations. You see from the concept, it's from this picture, it lacks of connectivity from this big white station to the land or development or property surrounding it. It's still based, both monorail and MRT still only connect to the street, and the government should start talking to the landowner of adjacent building, adjacent property. This is one of the station in densely populated area. Monorail is private investment, so they need a return. What the government now doesn't comfortably give is the real estate of the station itself that is needed to build this monorail. And also the station can function in various ways. It also can provide back to the city of elevated open space. That's a concept. And then it can work anytime, especially the elevated system. We did the whole master plan for monorail, And in the master plan, we identified the station area, how it will connect, how it should connect to the adjacent property, and how the property should connect to different area. We also did some urban design guidelines where the MRT pass. So this is the opportunity actually for people in Jakarta, for government alike, to have, for the property owners to have more density to the land, while at the same time providing more connectivity, reducing the number of people taking private cars. The government in Jakarta now thinking of limiting the number of car parking space. I talked to my fellow architects in Manila. We have the same regulation that is minimum in Jakarta for office is every 100 square meters space we are required to have one parking space. In Jakarta, they are now trying to limit or cap maximum from minimum becoming maximum. So, but with that, people need to, the government need to provide the public transport. And who opposed this is property consultant marketing. They say that, I quote from them as, parking means business for the development. That is actually discouraging more and more people taking public transport. And in our urban design guideline schemes, we're not only providing the station, the point, but also connectivity to the whole area. So we are designing or providing the urban design guidelines for this area, how it should connect. The red one is connectivity to the stations, the stations. The station itself, the red dot is the stations, and how it should connect to the other part of the development area, which is that triangle, and the pinkish land is actually the opportunity, the empty land, the land that there's going to be developed. And we provide shadow, arcade, pedestrians, design pedestrian. Then later on it will be higher density. And then looking outside, the sprawl, we also work on a land in BSD city. And this instant, the city itself, the orange block is about 6,000 hectares of development. Is one of the biggest in Jakarta at the moment, and it is actually connected well with the rail. This is one of the hottest development at the moment in Jakarta, outside Jakarta, because Jakarta seen as very dense, dirty, and environmentally not comfortable. But BSD cities now is owned by private developers. It is connected with 3 stations. At the moment, they are relying on buses, but the user of commuter line grows very fast, and the developer, unfortunately, not connected to the station, have the land, but now it's a tension between the rail company and developer. The developer has the idea not the idea, but see the opportunities. Of course, the property developers see the opportunity to create more dense transportation TOD hub. So we create something that is more dense, which is usually originally it was like flat landed house development. And lastly, it's the urban design guidelines for CBD. We will have we're planning to have our tallest building in Indonesia there. At the moment, it's only connected to, again, private cars and BRT. And we create, and now it is one of the development area. It's around 40 hectares in size, 50 hectares in size. That it is becoming more popular, and it's the highest property value in Jakarta at the moment. It's connected to 2 stations, and later it will be like hosting the more densely development in a signature tower Jakarta, 111 stories tall. So with that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you for your